gospel today requires your help. It is a responsive gospel. And it's from Matthew chapter 4, verses 1 to 11. Then Jesus was led up by the Spirit into the desert to be tempted by the devil. He had fasted 40 days and 40 nights. And after all that, he was hungry. The tempter said as he came toward him,
If you are the Son of God, just speak the word, so these stones may become loaves of bread.
but replying, he said, It is written,
a person lives not by bread alone, but from every word proceeding from the mouth of God.
Then the devil takes him into a holy city and stood him on the peak of the temple and says to him,
If you are the Son of God, throw yourself down. For it is written, He has given commands to His angels about you, and they will bear you up on their hands, lest you dash your foot against a stone.
Again,
It is written, you shall not test the Lord your God.
Again, the devil takes him into a very high mountain and shows him all the kingdoms of the world and their glory. And he says to him,
I will give all of these to you, if you but take a knee and worship me.
Then Jesus says to him,
Get out of here, Satan, for it is written, you shall worship the Lord your God, and to him alone shall you give your service.
Then the devil leaves him be. And behold, angels came and ministered to him. The gospel of the Lord.
Thanks be to God.
All right, you just read it. You have the words in your head. We're going to begin with a simple little message with no words. You fill in the blanks. You don't know who you are until you know whose you are. This was kind of the core message of a book that came out a few years back called Tribes, where Seth Godin's postulating that we are who we are surrounded by. We are who we are because of our tribe. I would submit that that is our family, our church family, those in your neighborhood, but most of all, from your parents. Not too long ago, last time we were in Cincinnati, finally, every once in a while we make it to Cincinnati to see a grandkid or two. And Rita was messing with Henry's head. Henry's just a little over 2, and we just got our arm around Phil, our son, and going, "What? Your daddy's baby, and this is my baby." And Henry's going, "Nah, not buying it." But until we get that construct of, here's where I come from, and here's where I fit in, we don't really know who we are. And until we know who we are, and therefore whose we are, it's a little insecure. I don't know how long ago this particular gospel hit me, and this is, we're talking decades back, and I'm going, huh. So, baptized, and we hear God saying, "This is my son." Kind of like him going, "Nuh-uh." But, "This is my son, whom I love." I realized that was 2 months ago when we heard those words in this room together, because the lectionary does that to us. But that's what happened right before what we see and hear today. And my reaction some time back was, if you hear the voice of God claiming you and saying, that's one heavy weight. That could be a little overwhelming. And when it says the Spirit led him up, I think probably he needed to go find himself. You remember that time in life when you were trying to get out on your own, but imagine if you're trying to get out on your own and you've until recently been a carpenter's son, just one of the folk, and now you're the Son of God. Who am I? Whose am I? When we get in trouble, when we are tempted, when we fall flat, it's when we forget who we are. When we forget whose we are. Kind of what happened to Adam and Eve. They didn't have a whole lot of relationship with anything but one another. They were the only two people. But they had a relationship with the Creator God, who had said, "You are mine, this is yours, you may do this." Until that day. Until that day when the serpent doesn't come in and say, "Here, eat this apple." The serpent messes with that relationship. The serpent says, "Did God really say that? Do you really think that's true? Come on. It won't heard? By the way, guys, this is not just on Eve. Adam was standing there. He could have said something. But as we are prone to do, guys, we just gotta go. Back off. So that original sin was really kind of original insecurity. They lost the security that they had when they knew whose they were. Now Jesus goes out into the wilderness. He's just been told again whose he is and who he is. After 40 days, that single man bread pretty good. The reason I like that cartoon, by the way, I mean, if you felt like it was another children's message, okay, fine. But I liked the emptiness. And I liked the humanness. I liked the vulnerability that it shows. And Jesus is out there utterly vulnerable. And when Satan attempts to disrupt and create insecurity to cause doubt, if Jesus remembers who he is, he knows whose he is, and he says, no, it is written. In our baptism, we are told that we are God's children. You are a child of God. You are beloved. You are special. You are important. That can be a heavy weight if you live into it. It's said that when Martin Luther was having issues with conscience or doubts, fears, feeling insecure, he would sometimes shout out in defiance the same words we just heard in the gospel. Away with you, Satan! I am baptized. And that promise marked on our foreheads that God has declared us worthy of love, worthy of dignity, worthy of respect, and has pledged to be with us and for us, is there until we feel insecure. And we live in a world that actively encourages insecurity. We are constantly told that there is not enough. This cannot be done. You should not get along with this person. Negative, negative, negative. Disrupting our relationship with God and with our tribe. This Lenten season, as we wander in our 40 days in the wilderness, as we are called upon to live our Lent in reflection and renewal and relationship with our God and with one another, for renewal to live in this world that would have us feel insecure, that would have us question our relationships. In a world where there are those who would actively prefer that we not get along with one another. God says, no. it is written. I want to close with a prayer that is from the evening prayer service in the ELW. Oh God, you've called your servants to ventures of which we cannot see the ending, by paths as yet untrodden, through perils unknown. Give us faith to go out with good courage, not knowing where we go, but only that your hand is leading us and your love supporting us through Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen.
Amen.
And we're going to sing.